Boy's miraculous recovery after meeting his new best friend. Johnny Hickey is a young boy who was diagnosed with autism. For much of his life, Johnny remained in solitude without any real friends. Then, one day, everything changed when Johnny was introduced to a new friend. Linda Hickey and her husband live with their 2 children in the state of Georgia. Linda's youngest son is 8-year-old Johnny, who was diagnosed with autism. At first, it was difficult for her to accept the situation. Linda admits that it was difficult for her to accept her son's disability and figure out ways to cope with how Johnny would react to certain situations. In school, Johnny was quite reserved and was having a difficult time making friends. Johnny also had a hard time being in public places. He was uncomfortable being out in public and never wanted to leave the side of his mom or dad. It was hard on everyone. "I couldn't even order cold cuts at the deli counter," Johnny's father, Grant, explained to Today, "because I'd roll up in front of the deli counter, I'd say, 'Give me a half a pound of this, a half a pound of that,' and Johnny would just start screaming." Grant began to worry that Johnny wouldn't be able to get over his anxieties. The couple adopted 2 dogs so that Johnny would have an animal to bond with. Unfortunately, there just wasn't an instant connection between them. Johnny would not interact with those dogs at all, Grant recalled. It was as if they were in parallel worlds. Johnny's parents were beginning to feel so hopeless about the situation until something unexpected happened. One night, Linda had turned on the television and saw a news segment that absolutely broke her heart. There on the TV was a rescued dog that had been found in critical condition. The dog very much needed someone to love her. The dog was a sweet girl named Zena who had been terribly abused. Even though she was only a tiny puppy, she had already been through so much in her life. When DeKalb County Animal Services first rescued her, they didn't know if she'd make it. "I've been doing rescue probably for about 12 years, and I had never seen a dog that young in that sort of condition," said Chrissy Kaczynski, who worked with the rescue shelter. Zena's condition was heartbreaking. However, this little dog knew she wanted to keep on living. Linda immediately felt a connection with Zena, even through a screen. Linda would check the shelter's Facebook page each day to see how Zena was doing. Then one day, she knew she couldn't procrastinate any longer and headed over to the shelter to meet Zena. Linda got in contact with Chrissy, who arranged for Zena to stay at the Hickeys' house for a trial period. This would allow them all to see how and if Zena would fit into the family. When she finally arrived, no one expected what happened next. So with Zena in the car, Linda headed over to her son's school to surprise them with the dog. No one knew what to expect, however, as soon as Johnny got in the care his personality changed. He had an immediate connection with Zena. Zena and Johnny immediately clicked as she began licking him and giving him tons of love. Johnny adored her and the two have been inseparable ever since. However, that's not the only amazing part with this friendship. The Hickeys have noticed an amazing improvement in Johnny's personality ever since Zena came into the picture. Johnny has been much happier and has had less problems interacting with new people. The Hickeys are so grateful. She was in his lap and she was kissing him all over his face and he was smiles from ear to ear, Linda said. "We drove home, with her in his lap the whole way." Grant especially felt emotional about the change in his son. "I can just cry thinking about it," Johnny's dad, Grant, said. "The dog had such an impact on our son that tens of thousands of dollars didn't have." Johnny has even begun to pick up new hobbies. Johnny has begun to undertake tons of new hobbies ever since Zena has been around. One of his new favorite things to do is cook. Even Johnny's teachers have noticed a huge improvement ever since Zena instilled so much confidence in him. Johnny's teachers are so thrilled with his classroom improvements. He recently won the Superstar of the Week award in his classroom, something that may have never been possible before Zena. "You know, we've spent thousands of dollars on therapy," Linda admitted, "and I just said to myself that that is the best therapy, standing with 4 legs in my family room." Zena and Johnny both brought something to each other that the other was missing. They have both brought a ton of love and understanding to each other's lives.
Thank you for watching this fantastic story. Please tap one of the 2 videos on your screen for another amazing Wonder Stories.